see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So today, I will discuss first, no, the history of accounting. No, where did the word accounting came from? So very important is, no, accounting is, of course, came from the old civilization. Okay, so I will discuss about the history of accounting. Then also a history in terms of Florentine and Venetian approach. So to be able to know the difference between Florentine approach and Venetian approach. So now, Florentine is basically the journal entries. Now, if you are familiar with entries, Florentine is the journal entries. Now, Venetian approach is basically more on ledger or the accounts, wherein you summarize everything. So at the end of this, maybe the first part of this semester, what you will do is basically more on journal entries. Okay? What I am doing now in financial accounting is basically an approach wherein more on bookkeeping. No, why? Because in the canvas, no, the module one is basically more on the FS preparation. No, but for me, no, my style is basically I want you to learn more uh, about the bookkeeping. No, the step one in accounting, not on balance sheet, income statement, or cash flow or equity. Okay, my style is basically to begin with step number one, which is analysis of transaction, journal entries, no, ledger, worksheet, no, and also especially in terms also of preparing your FS. Diba? So why preparing your FS is also very important because at the end of this subject, no, you will be able also to analyze the FS. That's your final paper and final exam. All right. Also discuss in terms of market and reporting. Later also I will discuss about standards. So most of you, I believe, no, if you are accountant, if you are lawyer, if you are engineer or lawyer or any other professionals, no, you will also or you will follow standards. So in accounting, there's also what you call global accounting standards or the IFRS or the IAS. No, so later I will explain to you what is the meaning of IFRS, what is the meaning of IAS. All right. Also discuss the accounting variations in among countries. So of course, Miss Lee, no, Miss Anna, no, of course, in your in Korea, no, there's also accounting. Okay, so what would be the variations, no, in terms of accounting, okay, and also harmonization in terms of accounting standards. So very important also that we need to follow standards, no, in the Philippines, right? Of course, in Korea also we have the same standards, no. We follow IFRS, no, International Financial Reporting Standards, or IAS, International Accounting Standards, right? And also part two is I will discuss later about accounting process, okay? And then who are the intended users, no? Very important is, yes, you know how to report, how to record the FS, but the question is, are you properly be communicated, no, to your users, or you just merely record the transactions, no, without communicating to the users? So meaning all your FS are useless, no. Very important is you will communicate, no, the FS to intended users. Now, there are two users. So you have external and you have internal. Right? External is basically um investors, suppliers, bank, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the BIRY, because they will see, no, your income statement particularly because of course you should pay for tax. Also investor, no, if you want to invest in one particular company, no, you need also to look, no, at their FS. All right, accounting, bookkeeping, and auditing. The difference between accounting, bookkeeping, and auditing is to be discussed later, and discuss the accounting profession. So happy lang siguro na about the accounting profession. And also ethics. No? Very important is the ethics in accounting. Okay, why? Yes, if you are a businessman, nature of the business owner to have two sets of book, no, for BIR purposes and for actual. All right. So meaning that's the essence of accounting, no. Okay. All right. Sorry. Assumptions to GAAP. Okay. So meaning in terms of GAAP also is very important to be discussed. And then to end this day, no, I will discuss about this, no, the basic accounting equation. No, asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. Right? That's the basic accounting equation. And also we will also discuss about this, no, transaction analysis. I will discuss more how to record simple recording of assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. We will not discuss more about the journal entries now. We will discuss that next meeting, okay? On Thursday. All right, sige. And also maybe 14, I will discuss 14 no. Maybe we will end no at number 13 so that you have an idea no what do you mean of your of recording your transaction. All right. Sige. All right. History of accounting. Uh, 'Di ba? Accounting is the language of business. No? Why is it that accounting is a language of business? It is an old civilization, no? Old definition of accounting. Why? Isa Reyes. What do you think is the reason why accounting is the language of business?
I think it's connected to trading, if I'm not
All right. So
mistaken.
it is more on a trading.
Bargain.
So
Mm-hmm.
bargain. All right. I think this is the first time, right? Isa, no? You are not here last meeting, correct?
No po, sir. I just changed my name po.
Ah,
So,
all right. All right.
my full name po is, yeah, John Elizabeth Marie.
Ah, all right. All right. Sorry. I thought this is your first time. I
Okay
see.
lang po, sir.
Okay, so it is more on trading. Okay? So trading, yes. If you have exchange, if you have barter, no. If you have transactions wherein you have an exchange, no, you have a trading. It is a language of business. Yes. No. What else? Why is it that
Um,
Okay, go, go. Sure.
Other than that, I think, what else?
All right.
I guess, other than bargain, of course, but it's the same thing because for you to get, let's say, let's say, for you to purchase something, you need to exchange.
All right.
All right,
Exchange
let's
to
say you need
purchase.
to,
Okay.
yeah, bargain din po.
Very
Simply,
good. Very good.
bargain.
No? It's very good. No? It's accounting. No? Accounting is to monitor your purchase, to monitor your sales, diba? Because without accounting, for sure, no, you cannot be able to record if you are incurring more expenses than your sales, right? Or without
Yeah.
accounting, you cannot monitor your net income. No? You cannot monitor your assets, your liabilities, and owner's equity. That's why very important is accounting as the language of business. All right, thank you, Isa. Tama na, Isa, no? All
Thank
right,
you, sir.
all right. That's why accounting, it evolved, no, in response to economical and social needs. So very important is accounting in terms of the economy, no, and of course your social needs, no, even your own life. You are doing accounting, diba? You properly budget your money. You have your financial management, no? What else? You monitor your cash flow in everyday life. That's accounting, right? That's why accounting, it started with simple recording, no, of repetitive exchanges. So basically, in Tagalog, paulit-ulit, no? Repetitive exchanges meaning simple recording by just simply record plus or minus. That's accounting, no? I remember, no, I have a consultancy last, I think that was 5 years ago. Chinese man, no, a pure Chinese man hired me as consultant. No? I introduce him no about the debit and credit, simple recording of journal entries, simple recording of ledger. No? And then what he did is by simply add and minus. No? He didn't follow my advice. No? Sabi niya, for the past 40 years, no, I am just doing this simple recording of plus or minus. How come that you will introduce this accounting concept? No? My question to him, no? Why did you hire me in the first place? All right, meaning that's accounting, no? You can do simple recording by simply by adding or subtracting, but it is of course routinary, right? Exchanges, right? When you say accounting, sabi it is money. Yes, accounting without money, of course there's accounting. Why? Money is a denomination. When you purchase, or when you sell particular transactions, you have money, you have accounting, right? When you say accounting is banking, I don't think so. No, my first job was in Allied Bank. No, now it is now the PNB. No, 6 months lang ako sa PNB. No, because for me it's different thing. No, banking is not similar to accounting. Yes, sort of 20%, but not entirely as an accounting. There's a money. Yes, there's a money, but of for obvious reason, no, iba. No, yes, diba isa, no, iba siya in terms of accounting and banking, no? That's why after that, no, I applied at San Miguel Brewery, San Miguel Corporation, no, in order for me to apply my accounting expertise, right? All right. When you say accounting, it is credit. Yes. Okay. Why credit? Diba? If you have your asset, you have your accounts receivable, meaning your customer has an obligation to you, no, to pay you. All right. Also, in terms of payable, now accounts payable is you have an obligation not to your customer. Meaning credit is basically uh, receivable as an asset and payable as a liability. Okay? Sa Tagalog, utang ng customer mo and utang mo din sa supplier mo. That's credit, right? So, account receivable at the same time your accounts payable. That's credit, okay? All right. Okay. In terms of accounting, the history of accounting, no, around 36 BC before Christ, no, accounting is basically by just simply record keeping. Then they wrote in the clay tablet of Mesopotamia, in India, Central and South America. So they write everything about transactions, no, by simply adding or subtracting. Also, during the time of Christ, may accounting na, no? Simple accounting. Who is the disciple of Christ, who is an accountant? Okay? Accountant, which is, sino yan? Si Matthew. Diba? Matthew is a tax collector. So, meaning, of course, without accounting, no, he cannot be able to monitor the tax collections. Diba? So, sabi niya, no, after a long time, the Lord of those servants came to settle accounts with them. So, basically, by simply recording, by simple accounting, he record everything, transactions, no. Okay. Also in Muslim, there's also an accounting there, no. I think Isa mentioned this, no, trading, diba? Trading, barter, credit arrangement, no. That's why very important is accounting, okay? And also, accounting is also, when you say accounting, it is a perfect double entry system, the involvement of double entry system, right? What do you mean of double entry system in the first place? Do you have an idea? What do you mean of double entry system? Anyone? Job. Do you have an idea? No? What do you mean of double entry system?
Um, Sir, ano po? Ah, ano lang,
Mm-mm,
siguro wild guess.
mm-mm.
Pag double entry system po siguro,
Mhm.
anong tawag dito? Ako, ang hirap sir hulaan.
Mm. You
Pero
know what?
siguro, ano, kapag ka, ako,
You know what, no? The double entry system, ay alam niyo yan, no? It is, when you say accounting, it is double
Debit
entry,
credit.
meaning, very good. That's your, sino yan?
Ay, sorry.
Uh,
Ako po, sir.
alright, Bugs, no? That's your debit
Debit and credit,
and
sir.
credit. Very good, Bugs, no? When you say accounting, it is a debit and credit. Wherein, your debit should always be equal to your credit, no? That's the perfect double entry system. That's why the double entry system is also called principles of bookkeeping, okay? Or the principles of uh, balance, no? 'Di ba? Meron si accounting, sabihin sa ng mga accountants sa inyo, balance na ba? Balance na ba? Okay. Balance na ba is our cash, no? Meaning because accounting is basically the double entry system. All right. Double entry system, no? It started with mercantile books, no, by Frebus Bonis, no, in 1339. So he started doing that books in terms of the debit and credit. All right. However, no, the evolution talaga of double entry system started with the Italian influence. No, they develop it, no, in terms of the double entry system, no, 13th to 15th century. Okay, that's why the oldest book, no, it is called Mazare. Okay, they wrote the ledger, the journal. Okay, that's why it is also known as the perfect double entry system. Now, yes, we are still using this, no. If you have your own business and then you have no accounting software, you can do it manually, no, by just writing it in the columnar pad or just doing it in Excel. And or if you have your own accounting software, you just merely record it as journal entries, no. And then after that, journal entries is you have now your FS. Alright, ito yung reason kung bakit I want you to learn more about the very basic of accounting, the principles of bookkeeping, the principles of double entry system, so that you will realize, dito pala nagsimula ang FS, no? Uh, the first step in terms of balance sheet, the income statement, the cash flow is basically through the journal entries. All right. All right. That's why here also you can also use the accounts, no, or ledger. Okay, don't worry, we will discuss that one by one, no. Maybe next meeting we will discuss about the conditions of your asset, liabilities, and owner's equity. Okay? But now more on basic first, no, about the accounting. All right, what else? Evolvement of double entry system, no, in Florence, no, there were double entry system. Okay, sabi ni kanina ni Boggs, wherein debits were written over the credit. That's why it is also called the journal entries now with the perfect double entry system. That's why Florentine method introduced journal entries. Okay? Uh, the first part is we will focus more on journal entries, ledger, up to the preparation of your FS. Now, don't worry. We will do it one by one so that you have an idea, no, about the entries, about the ledger. Okay? All right. And also, double entry bookkeeping, double entry system is the dual aspect of debit and credit. Now, that's what Bog said. Double entry system, bookkeeping, no, principles of balance is basically the debit and credit. No? Debit and credit now from the it is came from the Greek word debitum and creditum. No? Sir, bakit why is it that when you say debit, DR? Why is it credit is CR? No? Debit because debit record and credit record. So it is DR and CR. All right. Yan. Again, principles of bookkeeping is also called principles of balance. Now, why balance? Because always your debit should always be equal to your credit. That's the principles of bookkeeping. That's the principles of balance. All right. All right. Next, again, Fortin approach, basically journal entries. No, Amatino Manocci is the inventor of it. And also, ito yung ano, ulit-ulit lang, no? Total debits of the transaction should always be equal to your credit. No? That's the essence of the perfect double entry system. Who is the father of this? Amatino Manocci. No? O, sa mga Italian influence. Alright, also, in terms of ledger, no? Uh, in terms of Venetian approach, no, it is ledger. No? 1494, Luca Pacioli wrote the first book containing double entry bookkeeping. It is called Summa de Arithmetica. Okay? So, ginawa ni Luca Pacioli is he wrote about memo book, about journal book, about ledger book. That's why, who is the father of modern accounting? Okay? The answer is Luca Pacioli. No? Luca Pacioli is the father of modern accounting. I remember this, no, because in our board exam, no, number one question in the theory of accounts, who is the father of modern accounting? Honestly, I did not know the answer. Sabi ko, sino ba ang who is the father of modern accounting? That's why sabi ko, if ever I'll become professor, I will teach, no? Who is the father of modern accounting? The answer is Luca Pacioli. So maybe in your trivia questions, no, someday or 'di ba? For 1 million peso, who is the father of modern accounting? No? The answer is Luca Pacioli, 'di ba? Malay nyo, 'di ba? This is the trivia question. All right. Why he is the father of modern accounting? Because he wrote memo book, no? Journal book, and then ledger. Okay? That's why now, yes, you are still using this, no? Memo book, journal book, and ledger book. Okay? That's why we are very thankful, no, to Luca Pacioli as he introduced this to us, no? And now we are just converting it, no, and we are doing it in terms of the accounting software. All right. Yan. Of course, after that, no, Luca Pacioli, there's a subsequent events, 1700s, no, accounting now affecting the government. No, government accounting is they realize, no, that we need accounting in government. That's why they also introduced the accounting in finance, in laws, customs, and business. And also 1760 and 1830, no, the evolution of production, no? The evolution of factory, the evolution of plant. So you have mass production and importance of fixed assets. No? You know what, no? If you are working at the manufacturing plant, plant ng San Miguel, plant of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, majority of their assets, no, are fixed assets. No? That's why very important also that you need to account all your fixed assets, no? Your land, your building, your equipment, no? Why? Because accounting is basically you record everything. You record all your assets of the company para hindi mawala, no? There's no missing in terms of your assets, diba? If there's no proper monitoring, of course, uh, baka ano, mawala na lahat, no? Missing all your assets, diba? Particularly. All right, next. All right, next, global industrial economy. All right, so 1900s, now there is now a changes or rapid changes in terms of accounting practice and reporting. So they introduce now accounting standards, no? Kaya may tinatawag na GAAP, no? Generally accepted accounting principle, accounting standards, no? All right, and now, notable accounting practices. No, there's now a merger, there's now an acquisition and growth of multinational company, by diversification. There's internal and external reporting. Now, there are a lot of changes now when you say global industrial economy. Also, now, no, in this 2000, it is now development of computer assisted accounting practice and reporting develop rapidly. Okay, what do you mean of this? No, the development of SAP. No, in San Miguel, we're using SAP as accounting software. Some of them also they use Q&E. They also use QuickBooks. No, they will also you can also use Pitch3. Okay, you can also GL system. There are a lot of accounting software now. No, what you will do is just simply journal entries, and automatic the system will generate your financial statement. All right, sir. Why is it that in MBA Ateneo we should also or we need to study pa the bookkeeping? The answer is yes. Why? Because if you have no idea on how to record it in your software, it is useless. No, how you can summarize or how you can explain it now to your boss or to your management without proper understanding of the journal entries. That's why very important if you are taking an MBA to know the basic concept of accounting, to know the basic about bookkeeping. No? Hopefully, all of you will become an entrepreneur. Of course, if you are startup business, as long as you have an idea on how to record it, no? Yes, hindi ka maloloko ng accountant mo. No? That's why very important is your knowledge, basic knowledge of accounting. All right. Also, yes, there's now accounting standards. No, you have now IFRS, you have now IAS. Now, in the Philippines, no, it is called International Financial Reporting Standards or IFRS. There's a standards. No, there's also IAS, International Accounting Standards. What ano bang ginawa ng mga Pilipino? No? So they replace the I with P. No, now, Philippine Financial Reporting Standards, the PFRS. They also replace international to P, Philippine Accounting Standards. So, ganun na. Alright, they adapt everything about the IFRS and the and also the PAS. Sorry, IAS. Alright, alright. So meaning, so part two, no, is the accounting process. Alright, financial accounting, your course, financial accounting is basically this 1, 2, 3, and 4. No? In the next 5 months, tama ba? 4 months or 5 months, is we will discuss everything about this. No? So for the first part, we are here, no? Identification, we record, and we communicate. That's why the end here is basically to prepare your accounting reports or your FS. Okay? That's why at the end of the day, at the end of this course is your final paper is basically you will analyze and interpret the FS. Okay? So I will group you and you will do the FS analysis so that you are ready in your strama because in your strama, okay, in your like thesis now, is you will do FS analysis. That's why now as your financial accounting subject, now you have an idea on how to prepare it. All right. Number one question, no? You identify or you select economic events. My question here is when you identify ba your transactions, you will record everything? Yes or no? Murillo. So, when you identify transactions, ba, you will select all the events?
No, sir.
Yes, very good. Why no? Crystal, no?
Only those that are monetary and value and
Monetary and
affects the
value.
financial condition
Very
of
good,
a
no?
client.
Only or what you call it is known as you will record only accountable events only. Right? Take note. Very good, Marilio. So meaning you will only record accountable events, not personal matters. Now, if you are a Filipino businessman, yes, I am a consultant for the past 10 years already. If you are a Filipino businessman, you record everything. Diba? Even your personal. You bought condominium. You bought a sports car. You bought a lot of personal properties. And not for business. You record that as part of your business. Diba? It is wrong. Why? Personal should be set aside when you record transactions, especially in business. All right. How about in Korea, Miss Anna? no? You record the Korean ba is they record the personal thing as part of their business.
I'm not really sure, but
Ah, not
I
really
think
sure.
it's only for official. Yeah.
Yeah, so only business, no? But we as Filipino, no? We as Filipino, 'di ba? Uh, we record everything, no? Even the credit card expenses, they record it as part of their business, as part of their expenses, 'di ba? It is not the when the BIR audit you, no? Uh, they will not include the personal matters. That's why only economic events or accountable events that you should record in your business. Right? It is also called separate entity theory or entity theory, no? Meaning only the business transactions are recorded as part of your business. Yeah. All right. You record, you will do it as recording. We will classify it as ledger also. And after that, what you will do is to prepare your FS. All right. So after this, you have your midterm, na? And then second part is your to analyze and interpret your FS. All right. All right. So at the end of the day, no, very important is to communicate it, no, to the users and to analyze and interpret. But the question is, who are the users? Right? What if internal users, no, questions asked, no, by internal users? Okay, sorry. Is cash sufficient to pay the bills? Sino to? Employee, 'di ba? If you are the accounts payable clerk, no, you will monitor or you will record or you will analyze if the company can pay for or if the company have or has a sufficient cash, no? For expansion, to pay for bills, no? To pay for the salary. Okay? So meaning the accountant, no? Accountant is the internal users of the FS. To know, sorry, if the company has sufficient cash. All right. What is the cost of manufacturing each unit of product? So if you are a cost accountant, you should know the cost per unit. No? Well, how much would be the cost per unit of each product? All right. And also human resource. No? Human resource is also the internal users. They will see your cash flow or your income statement or your balance sheet if the company can afford or can approve, no, to give employees salary increase. Now of course common sense, if there's no if there's no cash available, if there's like last year, no, because of the pandemic, I remember before I leave at San Miguel Brewery, no, wala kaming, there's the salary increase, di ba? Because of the pandemic. Ano naman, understood, no? So the human resource will look at your FS now if you have enough cash, if you have enough provisions of giving an employee salary increase. All right. And also, siguro ano to, mga salesman or accountant or the production, no? To analyze which product line is the most profitable. Okay. I remember, no, I was also part of the committee, no? Okay. Committee um, in terms of eliminating, no, the San Mig Strong Ice. No? You remember pa San Mig Strong Ice? Sino ba nakakaalala ng San Mig Strong Ice, 'di ba? We closed the segment, no, 2005, no? Why? Because sorry, 2008 pala, sorry. Because San Mig Strong Ice, no, suffered a net loss. Kasi pero for me, no, I like the San Mig Strong Ice, no, but of course very important also that we need to prepare a analysis, no, or a revenue analysis, because all of the segment of San Miguel, the product of San Miguel, no, only San Mig Strong Ice suffered net loss. That's why we eliminate, no? We close the San Mig Strong Ice and we replace it with, wala niya kung ano. We replace it with San Mig Apple, San Mig Lemon, and San Mig Lychee. No? Because during the time, Tanduay Ice, no? Increase their production. Okay? Dito ba may Taga-Asia Brewery? Alright, sana wala. Alright. Okay. Ikaw, Kirby, Kirby BSP ka pala. Alright. So because we close the unit, no? So because of the FS, because of the users of that information, we know that the one unit or one product line is the most profitable. Sige nga, if you ano lang, if you parang hula, no, if you guess, no, what is the brand of San Miguel with the most profitable?
Pale sensor.
Pilsen? Yes, dati. Pilsen. But
San
na,
Mig Light po.
yes,
Red
very good.
Horse.
San Miglite, no? Number 1 is San Miglite. Number 2 is Red Horse. Diba? And number 3 is the Pilsen. No? Of course, nagsimula ang San Miguel sa Pilsen. Yan, yan. San Miglite. San Miglite, no? Because a
Sir
lot.
Jayman,
Yes, question.
question
Job.
po. Yung
Job.
ano po, yung sa pagsabi po natin na profitable po siya, ano
Yes.
po yun? Net na po yun nung
Net,
nung
net,
expenses and
Yes,
everything.
net. Yes,
Yeah.
revenue minus in expenses. So we also minus it with the variable cost and the fixed cost. Okay? So yun, San Mig Strong Ice. Pero alam niyo ba, gusto ko San Mig Strong Ice na. Wala eh. Talagang kailangan isarado. Yan. Alright. Take a job. Alright. How about if you are external users, no? Meaning sa labas, no? External users. So of course, BIR, no? The Bureau of Internal Revenue. No? They will see or they will look into your income statement if you are operating at net income. Why? Because they're monitoring your income to pay tax, diba? All right. Also, your competitor is also your users of information, no? Because they see if you are operating at net income or not. No? Also your suppliers, your bankers, your sino pa ba? Client, no? Are all external users, especially the bankers, especially the suppliers, no? If you have an obligation to pay, so they will look at your balance sheet, no? If you have enough cash to pay them, or if they have more outstanding liability. Because if not, no, of course, hindi ka nang pauulitin na pauutangin nila. Okay? That's why they will look, no, at your FS. No? So meaning, if you are a good accountant, you are not just merely recording the transactions, but merely proper communicating, no, to the internal and external users of information. All right. All right. What do you mean of bookkeeping, accounting, and auditing? All right. Bookkeeping. Okay? Bookkeeping is basically activity or clerical part of accounting. Ano ginagawa dito? You just do debit and credit. You record, no? We will do it pala, no? We will do it, no? We will do bookkeeping for the first, I think, for the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we will do bookkeeping by simply recording the debit and credit. All right. Yan. So it is primarily concerned with the procedures, no, in making and keeping accounting records, to know the procedures, to know if it is in accordance with the GAAP, no, or with the standards. All right. That's why bookkeeping is the how of the accounting. No? How of accounting is the bookkeeping. So after bookkeeping, so I remember this, no, when especially if my students are BS accountancy, no, sabihin ko sa kanila, you should study very hard so that if not, your role is only a bookkeeper, no, not to degrade, not to degrade anyone here, no, meaning ano lang, for motivation purpose lang, no. That's why you should become a certified public accountant. If not, your job is only a bookkeeper. No? Why? Because if you are a CPA now, you can do accounting. Accounting is, of course, developed form of bookkeeping, but it is the conceptual and logical part of the service activity. Okay? That's why it is answers the questions why, no? Bakit? Why? That's why accounting starts where bookkeeping ends. No? So if you are a CPA, no, what you will do is to analyze, to interpret the data, not recording transaction, which is the bookkeeping side. No? That's why sabi ko, you should become a certified public accountant para your role is accountant, no? Not a bookkeeper. Okay? All right. After that, no, auditor naman, auditing. No? If you are working at SGV or Layamananghaya, KPMG, Deloitte, no, you are doing auditing. Okay? Auditing is the critical part of accounting. Why? Because basically you will check the truthfulness, the credibility of the FS, that the FS are free from fraud, free from error, no? Or free from material misstatements. Okay? It performed after the accounting work ends. So meaning, first is bookkeeping, next is accounting, and you have auditing. So in the financial accounting, what we will do is a bookkeeping and accounting lang. Now, we will not do auditing. Okay? That's why auditor examines the FS and verify the truthfulness. Now, take note of this. Truthfulness and compliance with the GAAP. No? Generally accepted accounting principles or the standards of accounting. All right. Again, confirms the credibility of FS and protects and ensures the confidence of financial users. All right, sir. My question is, how we can prove that the auditor confirms the credibility? Di ba, sir, may nababayaran naman na auditor? Yes. That's why, very important is you value, you have your ethics, no? Later, we will discuss ethics, no? That's why, yes, hindi naman lahat perfecto, no? That's why the role of auditor is very critical. So it is called critical part of accounting. No? All right. It ensures the confidence of financial users. Diba? What if si Gian Mamuyak, no? Will invest in one particular industry? No? And of course, if it is a audited by SGV, 'di ba? 'Di ba Gian? Parang wow, SGV ang audit nito, no? I will invest, no, in that particular field. Alright. Hindi ka pa mag-ano Gian? Hindi ka pa mag-PBA? Hindi pa.
Hindi pa, sir.
Hindi pa. Aral pa. Kasi nabasa ko, no, parang ano, deadline ba ng ano, PBA draft? Tama ba? Alright.
Opo.
Oo.
Dami ako
Mas ano ngayon, no? Mas over ano ngayon ng PBA, no? Mas ano daw? Batch ng PBA, no? Mas malakas, no? Alright.
Opo.
Mm.
One of the deepest drafts.
Kung hindi kayo ano ha, if you are not familiar with Gian Mamuyak, no? Siya lang naman yung nakabutata kay Stephen Curry. I remember that.
Tama
Diba?
lang yun, sir.
Chamba ba? Hindi. Hindi chamba
Malabo
yun, no?
yun.
Diba? If you can search, no? Only Filipino, diba? Black, no? Stephen Curry. Alright. Saan ba yun? Sa ano yun, diba?
Sa Taiwan po, sir.
Sa Taiwan yun. Alright.
Opo.
Yan. Alright. Idol daw. Okay. Yan. Anyway.
Po, tama lang po yun.
Chamba lang. Alright. Alright. That's why auditing it usually answers the questions how true, no? Credibility and protect ensures, no? The auditing, no? How true is the auditing? Alright. The accounting. Alright, accounting profession, I think we will not discuss it now. Basta accounting is you can work at SGV, no? You can work at public accounting. You can also work at private accounting, no? If you are in accountant in San Miguel, no? Accountant in and any other private companies. No, you're also you can also do accounting education like me. No, I am teaching accounting. You can also do you can also work at government no agencies in accounting. So here, no, public accounting you can do external auditing, you can do tax services, you can do MAS, no, practice of public accountancy, and you can also do private accounting. Okay, so you work at the uh, commercial industry. So a lot of opportunities no if you are a CPA or accountant. Ang dami. You can also do government no or practice in government no you can work at the BIR, you can work at the COA no Department of Finance, you can do the DBM also, and also accounting education. Yeah? So you can teach accounting, taxation, business courses, and MBA subjects. So, yan. So there are a lot of opportunities now if you are accountant also. Okay. Maganda to. All right. That's why again, very important is the ethics. No, sorry, in accounting. No, because no auditing or accounting is if you are uh, if you are auditor, no, parang ikaw yung to ensure the credibility, to ensure the uh, truthfulness no of the FS no but the question is very important is no to value or to follow the rules, to follow the ethics no the conscience of it by just following no what is right no and avoid what is wrong. Yun lang because a lot of companies now they have two sets of book no for BIR at the same time for actual no yan kaya lang di natin maiwasan no so it lies with the professional judgment no as you as accountant. All right, all right.
Sir, question.
Question,
Sorry.
sure, question, sure.
Yeah, just a curious question.
Yes, box.
Are
Mhm,
all the rules or GAAP and IFR is considered
mhm.
ethical? Or if we follow
Yes,
them, is it
yes,
considered ethical na?
yes, it is ethical because you have procedures to follow. At the same time, you have to set or rules, no, or standards to follow in terms of accounting. So parang libro siya, no. It is a book of accounting wherein to follow all or to follow by the book, no. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na if you have that set of standards, no, you will follow everything, no. Diskarte mo rin, no. As long as it is legal, as long as it is parang ethical no you can naman ano you can naman deviate no or you can now or you can be able to parang not to follow the standards no as long as it is ethical and it is in accordance with for you no it is a common good, di ba? Kasi madami naman kasing empleyado na accountant na they do not follow the standards, pero it is naman legal or it is naman ethical. Okay ba, Bogs? Alright.
Thank you, sir.
Alright. Sige. Next. That's why GAAP, no? Ito yon IFRS. Ito sa GAAP, no? GAAP concern. Cost principles also, no? Of course, there are a lot of principles wherein your assets are recorded at their cost. No? If you invest one particular investment and then you purchase an equipment, no, you have a cost, no, the purchase price, the transportation cost, and any other invoice cost is should be recorded at cost. And also, cost is the value exchange at a time something is acquired. Now, of course, you have your money, then you acquire something that is a cost, right? Because you have a purchase price. Cost is also both relevant and reliable. Meaning, relevant meaning you have your sales invoice, delivery receipt, reliable because you have a source documents. No? Take note that if you have your own business, no, don't record wherein you have no sufficient evidence. You have no source document, no, because how come na you record that without a supporting document? Meaning costs should be both relevant and reliable para you have an audit trail, no? Especially if you someone will audit you, no? Bakit mo ni-record to? Because you have an evidence, no, to record it. Okay? Source document, source invoice, OR, delivery receipt, no? And any bills of lading, waybill, yan. Alright. Assumptions. No? So in accounting, we also follow going concern. Okay? What do you mean of going concern? Assumes that organization will continue into foreseeable future. Meaning, di ba, common sense lang. You will uh, you will invest in one particular business because you see to it, you saw that there's a potential, no, that it will exist indefinitely, di ba? San Miguel is now 137 years, no, of brewing excellence. Of course, they think that San Miguel will continue indefinitely. That's a going concern. Common sense lang. Wala naman nagsabi na mag-i-invest ako or magbi-business ako para malugi. 'Di ba? No, no. I will invest because my company will exist in foreseeable future. Okay? It will exist indefinitely, no? Hanggang wala na ako, no, may anak pa ako to continue the business. Like Henry C, right? O, the SM Supermall, no? Si Henry C is wala na. Okay? So, of course, it will pass, no, sa mga anak, no, the C siblings, no? Meaning SM Supermalls will exist indefinitely. Okay? Also, the Gokong Way, no? So it is now handled by Lance Gokong Way and going concern. All right. Of course, monetary unit. Of course, sum of money expressed in terms of money. Okay? Denominations, economic entity na, entity na, or only organizations, no, and society. Meaning, you will not record business transactions, only entity which is business. Okay? And that's why here you have a organization in your business. You have sole proprietorship owned by one person. Take note, take note of this term, owner's equity. Why it is part of the equity section later when we discuss about accounting equation. Okay, when two or more partners or persons they form partnership and they divide the profit among themselves and losses also, it is called partnership. Okay, take note of the partner's equity. Okay, and also separate entity we're in to governed by Corporation Code of the Philippines. Now, separate entity, and it is sovereignty, a sovereign. Yun nga, it is a corporation, diba? It is under the Corporation Code of the Philippines. No, take note. No, if you have your own business, no, for me, there's now what you call one-man corporation. No? My two companies where I created, no, the Strive Executive Asia and the Advance is basically a one-man corporation. No? Mas okay if it is a one-man corporation, unlike the sole proprietorship. Why? Because the liability of the corporation is not my liability. No? Strive has an obligation to pay, not my liability as the owner. No? That's a corporation, meaning unlimited, sorry, it is a limited liability. Okay? But if it is sole proprietorship, no, let's say Strive is a sole proprietorship, kung may utang, if Strive has an obligation, yan ay utang ko din. No? It is also my obligation because a sole proprietorship is the same as you as the owner. Unlike corporation, it is the word is separate legal entity, no, under the corporation law. So meaning ano to, new law, no, I think that was 2019, if I don't if I remember right, no, that there's a one man corporation. Yan, mas okay to, no, one man OPC, no, 'di ba, pag corporation stock corporation, it is called INC, no, say Stripe Executive Asia INC. But pag one-man corporation, OPC after the name. Yan. Yun lang, advice ko lang sa inyo na if you want to create your own company. Okay?
Sir, I have a question
Alright, question.
regarding
Okay, Leia. Alright.
the one-man corporation.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
the shareholders still have voting rights?
No, you will just appoint nominee. No? Uh, for me, in my part, I'm the one who is that's why one man corporation. No? Pero per se, you have three naman. No? Ako, and I have two nominee, my wife and my sister. So meaning we are three, no, in the business. But in terms of shares, I am the only one with shares of stock.
Okay, sir.
Then and also you will appoint your secretary and also your treasurer. Ganun lang. So and then also the 25% rule will not apply here if it is a one-man corporation. Unlike in stock corporation, di ba? Dapat 25% should be subscribed and out of subscribed 25% is to be paid. Okay? Pag one-man corporation, walang ganun, no? Hindi ka required, you're not required that to submit that 25% is paid already. Mas maganda, no? Okay?
Okay, sir.
Why, Leia? You will create your own company ba? It's
No,
okay.
I'm just curious lang po.
Just curious na. Okay. Pero hindi siya per se na ikaw lang mag-isa, no? That you're the only one. You have still nominee. No? Okay. Okay, thank you, Leia. All right. Next, basic accounting equation. So, asset is equals to liabilities plus your owner's equity. Okay, take note of this. Owner's equity is a sole proprietorship, diba? All right, meaning assets is always equal to your utang or liability and your owner's equity. All right, assets minus liabilities is equals to owner's equity. Okay? In layman's term, no, assets mo to, may utang ka, that's your net worth. Okay? Owner's equity is also called net assets or net worth. Okay? Assets, after your assets, you have your liability, you have your owner's equity. All right. What do you mean of assets? It is owned, okay? Owned by the business. Some things that you control, something that you measured or you have measured, something that will benefit, no, you, no, as owner. Let's say you purchase equipment, it is for your business. You have your cash, you have your account receivable, you have your inventories. All of them are dapat controlled and owned by you and also to be used as part of your business, no? And to have future economic benefits, no? As assets. Okay? So ano yung mga sample? You have your cash, account receivable, you have inventory, you have your prepaid assets, you have your supplies, you have your investment, long term, you have your property, plant and equipment, and you have intangible assets. Ang dami. That's assets. All right. Liabilities also, utang, no? In Tagalog. Claims against your assets or debts or obligations. And debts or obligations, that's your liabilities, right? You have your accounts payable, notes payable, mortgage payable, salaries payable, interest payable, bonds payable. Yan. Example of liability. All right. And also you have your owner's equity. Again, assets minus liability, you have your owner's equity. So parang ano lang yan, you have your assets worth 1 million. Kaya lang you have an obligation to pay sa credit card na of let's say 500,000. Meaning 1 million as assets minus 500,000, your owner's equity is 500,000. 1 million minus 500. Owner's equity is also known as net worth or net assets. Yan. Owner's equity, it represents the ownership claims against your total assets. That's why it is after you deduct your liability. That's why when you say owner's equity, it will be divided into four. No? You have your capital, meaning investment. So you have your capital now, investment. Now you have additional investment. Drawings. Sir, anong drawings? You will draw ba? You will draw. Uh, Drawings is a withdrawal. Okay. Cash withdrawal is a drawings. Okay? You have also revenue or sales, meaning benta. Okay? Benta mo as part of your sales or revenue. Expenses naman is a gastos. No? Expenses is an outflow against your revenue. All right. Again, capital or investment by the owner are the assets no put into the business by the owner. So meaning an addition to your investment, an addition to your assets. All right, investment in the business increase owner's equity. So when you have your investment, if you have your capital additional, it is to be added to your owner's equity. Okay? Why added? Because it is an inflow to your owner's equity. All right. All right. Yan. How about drawings? No? Drawings is a withdrawal of cash. Okay? Meaning, nag-withdraw ka no? Because for personal use. All right. Drawings is you decrease the owner's equity. Kanina, capital is to add. Drawings naman, common sense. You withdraw cash. Of course, it is to be deducted to your drawings. All right. Revenue naman is a gross increase in the owner's equity resulting from the business and activities no entered into the form of earning income. So meaning it is a increase to your assets. An example, examples are you sell your merchandise, performance of services, meaning if you are a doctor, no, you consult, no, consultation fee. If you are a lawyer, notarial fee, and rental, of course, let's say you have your condominium or if you have apartment and you rent pinapaupahan mo, no? Rental of property, no? Lending of money also is part of the revenue. Okay? Expenses is a decrease in the owner's equity. Why? It is a gastos, no? Assets consumed, no? Assets used in the process of earning your revenue. Examples are utility expense sa kuryente, rent expense, supplies expense, depreciation expense. They're all deducted to your owner's equity. That's why here, if you summarize everything now, you have owner's equity here. Okay. So what you will be added is basically the investment by the owner and the revenue. Common sense now. And you deduct the withdrawal because you withdrew cash. At the same time, you deduct also the expenses. Okay? Because gastos mo to generate your revenue. Or assets consumed, asset used to generate your revenue. That's why it is to be deducted to your expenses. Alright. So far, any questions so far? Before we go to the last part, which is the to record no to record transactions. So far, any question?
Sir,
Yes, question. Sure.
pwede po ba humingi ng copy ng PowerPoint?
Ayos, yes, sure. I will send it naman.
Thank you, sir.
I will send its ating canvas. Okay.
Thank you po.
Alright, sige, thanks. Alright, next. Alright, so that's part, no? We will not discuss about FS. We will do this now. Okay. Alright, what if Mark Doucet no, decides to open a computer programming services? Alright, and then after that, now September 1, he invests 15,000 cash no, in business, which he named SoftBite. And okay, again, go back to our accounting equation. So what we will doing now is simply recording of transactions, meaning simple recording of transactions only, not a debit and credit now. By just recording it in an asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. Since you invest cash of 15,000, common sense, it will add to your cash as part of your business. And also, it will also add to your capital. I'll go back to our owner's equity. Wherein, you will add investment by the owner as part of the owner's equity. All right, principles of balance ba? Principles of bookkeeping. Asset is 15,000 is equals to also 15,000. Meaning, balance tayo. Now, it is balance. Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. There is an increase in the assets of 15,000 and an equal increase in owner's equity of Lucid Capital of 15,000 also. All right. Alright, next. SoftBite purchased computer equipment worth 7,000. What if out of 15,000, you purchase 7,000 or 7 million of equipment? So what is the entry here? Of course, you will deduct 7,000 in your cash. Okay, so meaning your cash available is only 8,000. Okay, and also you will add it to your equipment worth 7,000. All right, meaning you purchase an equipment. All right, cash is decreased by 7, but you increase naman your asset of equipment worth 7,000. Principles of balance ba? Principles of bookkeeping, 8 plus 7, 15. So same pa yan, 15 is your assets. The other side, still 15,000. So balance pa din. Okay? Alright, next. Transaction number 3. Alright, so this is now the balance now, 8, 7, and 15. Still balance. SoftBite computer, paper and supplies were purchased now worth 1,600 on account. Take note, on account. So meaning, out of 8,000, sorry, on account pala. Meaning, you add 1,600 in your supplies, and also you will add 1,600 as part of your accounts payable. Why? Because on account, meaning you have an obligation to pay of 1,600, maybe 30 days from now, or it would depends on the rate, no? Or sorry, on the credit term. Right? An asset is increased by 1,600, and liability naman is increased by 1,600 by the same amount. No? So that's basically the analysis transaction number 3. All right. Long, ha? All right, next. Next, okay, na question na. Principles of balance, 8 plus 1,600 plus 7. This is, I think, 16,600, no? 16,600. How about the other side? 15 plus 1,600, you have 16,600. So the same pa din. No? All right. Number 4. SoftBite received 1,200 cash from customers for programming services it has provided. All right, meaning what you do is you have programming services. Of course, it will be added to your cash since it is added to your cash of 1,200. But revenue is also to be added to your owner's capital as part of an increase to your equity. Okay? Balanse pa din ba? 9,200 plus 1,600, you have 10,800 plus 7, 17,800. Okay? Still balance. 17,800 is assets. How about the other side? 16,200 plus 1,600, still 17,800. So meaning, balance pa din. Alright. So far no question? So far clear? Alright. Sige. If you have question, just write. Okay. No question. How about Lee? Anna? No question? Alright. So far
Sir,
clear.
sir.
Alright. A question. Bea.
Sir, ako po.
Alright, Bea.
Sir, just wanted to ask lang, is there a depreciating value na
Depreciating
added
value.
in assets? Like
Depreciating value is to be
supplies?
deducted. No? Later, no, when we are now in the adjustment, no, we will adjust the equipment as part of the depreciation. But it is to be deducted, no, not added. Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Sige, sir. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bea. All right. Later, now we will discuss this now about the depreciating value of the equipment. Okay. All right. Sige. Thank you, Bea. All right. Next, number 5. Now, what if SoftBite receive a bill of 250 for advertising? It's business. So meaning, but you will pay it on the later date. So meaning you have an advertising expense. So it will be deducted to your capital because it is part of the expense. And also, it will be added to your payable because you will pay it on the later date. No? All right. So, still balance ba? Yes. 17,800 and 17,800. Okay, balance pa din. No? All right, next. Number 6. Okay. What if you provide a service of 3.5 for customers and you only receive 1.5 as cash and the remaining is part of your accounts receivable. So meaning 1.5 is to be added to your cash, diba? And also added naman yung 2,000 as part of your account receivable, meaning your customer or client will pay you naman, okay? And also to be added is your owner's equity of 13.5. All right. So, balanse pa din ba? I think yes. 19,450. We will add. Ilan ba yan? 19,450 plus 1,850. So, this is 21,300. And also, the assets is also 21,300. Balance? Yes, still balance. Asset is equals to liabilities plus your owner's equity. Alright. Number 7. Expenses paid in cash for September are store rent. So meaning you will pay for rent. You will pay your employee or employees. You will pay also for the water or electricity. All of them are all to be deducted to your capital. Why? It is an expense. Okay? And also, it is paid in cash. So meaning, deducted also to your cash. And that's why you deduct all in your cash. And also, you deduct it also in your capital as part of the expense. Okay? All right. Still balance. So, 1,850 plus 17,750. This is 19,600. And also, assets is also 19,600. Still balance. So far clear? All right. So far clear? No question. All right. No question, huh? So again, if you have question, just message me. Okay, no question. All right. Thank you, Isa. All right. Next. Number 8. Di ba dati you have a 250 payable for advertising expense. Now you have money and you will pay for 250. So meaning you will deduct your payable of 250 and also you will also deduct 250 to your cash. Okay? Because you will pay for your obligation. Okay? So still balance ba? Okay? So ilan na ba? 16 minus 7, 1750. You have, sorry, this is 19,350 and 19,350. Still balance, no? Balance pa in terms of your asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. All right,
Sir Jaylan,
next. All right,
question lang.
question. Sure.
Sir,
Job.
clarification lang po.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, doon po sa transaction number 7
All
po.
right.
Sir, medyo nalito lang po ako. Bakit po
All
sa
right.
owner's equity natin nilagay yung
Mm-hmm.
yung rent expense, salary, and utilities? Dahil po
Uh,
ibabawas po natin siya doon sa
yes.
capital.
Yes, very good. Because it is part of the expense now. Because later, when we are now in the income statement, all our net income are to be closed, no, or to be transferred to the owner's equity capital. Okay, so meaning the net effect. That's why as time goes by, the capital account will increase if you have your net income. Okay, if you are sole proprietorship, all the net income are to be transferred to your owner's equity. But how about if you are a corporation? It is to be added or to be deducted if you are net loss in your retained earnings. Yan. So, ito yung pinaka-simple because our business is only a sole proprietorship. That's why it is to be deducted to your owner's equity. Clear? Job?
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
Alright. Sige. Alright. Alright. Number 9. Alright. Number 9 is the sum of 600 in cash is received from customers who have previously been billed in number 6. Diba? Number 6 is basically you sell, you incur or you provide services, but the customer has no money at that time. So this number 9 is basically your customer will pay you already. So meaning it is added to your cash of 600 and also to be deducted also to your account receivable of 600 because to decrease your AR, diba? All right, still the balance is 19,350. You just simply transfer from AR to your cash. All right, last number 10. If you have question, just message me. All right, last. What if Mark Doucet withdraws cash 1-3 from business for personal use? Of course, common sense, it will deduct your cash of 1-3 and also to be deducted also to your capital of 1-3 as part of Doucet drawings. Why drawings? Because it is withdrawal for personal use to be deducted as part of your owner's equity. All right, I think I will discuss this next meeting na no para hindi kayo maano. So for now, I will end this now in terms of your analysis now because I will give you assignment. What you will do is simply like this now, but it is a corporation naman. Right? All right, any questions so far? So far clear. So 8:55. Okay. Any question? Hopefully you learn. Hi. Or ano pa? Malabo. Okay.
Sir, ako po,
All right,
quick
Isa.
question lang.
All right,
Sorry.
Isa. Sure, Isa.
Although maybe to some po kasi definitely, some knows kung paano po i-identify like, this is equity and this is
All right.
liability. So, kasi I think connected po siya sa question ni Job a while ago.
All right.
Wherein, how would we know po or how are we able to identify na ito yung ilalagay sa equity, like
All
the,
right.
the salary expenses, electricity expenses, bakit namin siya nilagay sa equity versus sa liability po.
All right.
Somewhat like
So
that. So will we go through that po ba
all right.
later on?
Yes. So in terms of your capital, no? Basic thing is basically you will transfer all your net income to your equity. All right. What compose of your net income? Sales or revenue minus your all of your expenses. That's why your resulting or your bottom line is your net income. If revenue is more than your expenses, it is or you have a net income. The net income will be transferred to your capital, right, to your equity side. If it is a sole proprietorship, meaning the reason why it is to be deducted to your owner's equity because an expense is a deduction to your owner's equity. Okay? That's why revenue naman is added to your owner's equity because sales or revenue is an increase or an outflow to your owner's equity. Okay? So don't worry, Isa, no? As time goes by, we will do more exercises, no? Para at least you can be able to analyze, you can be able to know why is it that it is to be added or to be deducted. Okay? So far clear, Isa?
Thank you, sir.
Alright.
Thank you po. Okay naman po. Thank you po, sir.
Alright. How about the others? Rachel, question.
No, none, sir. No question for
Alright.
now.
Jackson, no question.
Clear, all clear, sir.
Alright.
Understand naman.
Okay. So, okay. In our class ba, sino yung bago dito? Who is the new, I think 2 students daw or 3 students will add to this group? Or all of you naman is, tama ba? I think all of you, yes. Alright. So, again, hopefully you learned, no? Hopefully you learned and you appreciate the accounting, okay, as part 1 of this. Okay. So far clear?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Sige.
Yes, sir.
Alright, thank you, Bea. Alright, so if none, Kasi gutom na ako. Okay. So, thank you, Eliza. Alright, so if none, thank you very much and see you all again on Wednesday, sorry, at 7:30 to 9. Alright, sige.
Thank you, sir.
Alright,
Thank you,
sige, bye-bye.
sir.
Bye-bye, see you all.
Bye.
Alright,
Thank you
sige.
po.
Bye.
Everyone.
Take
Alright,
care.
bye.
Thank you po.
Bye,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, everyone.
Alright, sige,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Thank you.
Everyone.
Alright.
Eh, sir.
Ups.
Ay, sir.
Yan. Yes. Yes.
Kailan po post yung assignment?
Baka mamaya. Ano naman siya. Within the day
Okay
or
po.
tomorrow. Excited ka, ano?
Saka sir, yung grouping po
Oo.
pala.
Yes,
Opo.
groupings din. Yes, groupings. Sige. Para at least
Okay po. Sige,
tulungan
sir.
na yung mga ano, no? If you're accountant, diba?
Mm-mm.
Alright,
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Thanks,
yung
sir.
ano naman po, groupings, i-distribute po yung accountants.
Yes. Para
Buti na
fairly,
lang.
ano naman.
Okay, thank
Buti
you.
na nandiyan si Kirby.
Hindi po ako.
Oh, di ba si Kirby, accountant, ano?
Hindi po, sir.
Hindi ba?
Working for
Alright.
VSP.
Si Elaine,
Working.
yung accountant nga pala.
Si Elaine.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Sana magka-group kami ni Elaine.
Sige.
Hindi po.
Nagdadasal ko lang, sir, ha? Hindi ko naman sinasuggest. Nagdadasal lang.
Hint na yun, sir. Hint na.
Baka lang.
Don't worry.
Bale.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, sige.
Kain na po kayo.
Alright.
Thank you po.
Sige.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Sige.
Happy
Bye-bye.
dinner.
Okay, sige. Bye-bye.